Hi, so in the last video I went over missions 1, 2, 3, and 4 in Gyro Reset. In this video I'm going to go over 5, 6, and 7, but before I do that I wanted to go over a little bit more about the gyro block. So I'm going to go over here to mission number 3 to do that. So, let's see, in this mission, let me just reset it from the very beginning. They teach us how to use the gyro block, okay, to make a right turn. This time, time to practice using the gyro sensor. This time let's make a right turn. So it tells us, the gyro also tells us about the direction of the turn. When the robot turns to the right, the gyro counts down even below 0, okay? So use the gyro sensor to turn right, set this value to -90. So I'm going to put -90 right here. Now you're all set. The robot will turn 90 degrees to the right. And it does, you know? So this code here makes it go forward, but I'm going to put this away for now and restart the program. Actually, I do need that there, sorry. But I'm going to put 0 here, and hopefully that'll make it not go forward. Okay, good. So this mission teaches us how to use the gyro turn block. But I noticed that for me, I could copy the code, but I really wasn't understanding what it meant, and I wanted to go over that a little bit because I noticed that in my last video, I had a little bit of trouble with the gyro block because it honestly had been a while since I used this website, CoderZ. So I sat down and I looked at it and I thought of a way that I could understand it and explain it that makes sense to me, and hopefully that makes sense to other people. So I'm going to take all of this and just move it to the side, okay? And I wanted to go over first, how to turn using the old way, and then I'll talk about this one over here, okay? The new way. So the old way to turn would be to use a regular, motor block, and I would add steering and duration. Okay, so I'm going to make a copy of this little block right here so I can plug them into these slots. I'm going to make a copy for duration. Okay, so for the duration, I'm going to use 1750. Now, duration controls how long it's going to turn for, or, do this code, how long it's going to do that for. So 1750 is almost 2 seconds. Remember, it's at a 1 to 1000 ratio. 1 second is 1000 milliseconds, 2 seconds is 2000, 3 is 3000, and so on and so forth. So 1750 is right below 2000, which would make it almost 2 seconds. And the steering, let me make another copy of this. Steering can only go up to 100, okay? So if I wanted to turn to the right, I would use a positive number. You see? Sorry, I forgot one thing. You need to lower the drive power to 15 because that's just, too fast to turn properly. So I need a low turning speed. Okay, so remember, I started off by facing that direction, and then the robot turned to the right and is now facing this direction, okay? So if I wanted to say turn to the left, I would put a -100 in this slot. See? The robot was facing that way, and then it turned left, and now it's facing the left direction, okay? Why does it work like that? Well, if we look at a number line, when you go to the negative side, you're going to the left side, okay? So that's why negative numbers give you a left direction, and positive numbers, positive 100, makes you go to the right. Okay, so now let's say I want to look at over here, and instead of turning with the old way, I'm going to use the gyro to turn again. So that's the code that we started off with, and let me run it. See, it was facing that direction, and now it turned to the right, and it's facing this direction, okay? So now notice that the steering stays positive, the drive power stays at 15, but we didn't do duration because this is no longer a time-based turn, now it's an angle-based turn. Now, here, to turn right, we need a negative number, and we're also using a less than symbol. Now, that might be like a little bit confusing because to steer to the right, we need a positive number. So remember that this is a gyro sensor and it measures angles, okay? So when you're working with angles, it's a little bit different, okay? So here's my robot and it's facing the right direction. Now I'm going to go to this other website called GeoGebra, and it's really good for teaching math. So let's say this is my robot and it's currently pointing to the right, okay? So notice that this graph looks very much like this map over here on CoderZ, right? If I zoom out, this line going left and right kind of looks like this x-axis over here, and this line over here going up and down looks sort of like this y-axis over here, okay? So the reason why we use a negative number and a less than symbol to turn to the right on the gyro sensor is because when you want to make a negative angle, you see right here I have a check on negative orientation, you have to turn in a right direction, and it's going to make a negative angle, okay? So let's say if I go to CoderZ and I switch this to greater than, and I'm going to put positive 90, and here I'm going to put negative 100. It's going to turn me to the left. Okay, so let me go ahead and try that. See, now I'm turning the other way, to the left, okay? Because if I want to make a positive angle, I would be moving to the left, see? So if this is the original orientation of the robot, and if I wanted to go to the left, I would need to have a positive value in the gyro sensor, and I would also need this to be a greater than sign. So I would also need my steering to be negative because I'm moving to the left. So that's basically what I want to go over. Again, if I want to go to the right, I need a positive 100, and I would need a negative 90 here, and I would need to change it to less than. Let me just run that again so you can see. Now, the good thing about the gyro sensor is that it's a lot easier to turn the way you want to turn, okay? So let's say if I didn't want to turn 90 degrees, let's say I wanted to turn negative 135 degrees. So I can just go ahead and set it up like that, and the robot would do it, okay? I don't need to sit down and figure out, okay, how much time do I need to turn to be able to turn 135 degrees? Figuring that out takes a lot of time, and if you're working with an actual robot, like a physical robot, there's other factors that you need to think about. If you don't have a brand new robot, and a lot of people don't, you have a robot that, the wheels might be a little bit bumpy after using it for a while, the motors on the inside might not be working as well as they used to, so using a gyro turn would make that work a lot easier, okay? So let me go ahead and do a negative turn here. I'm going to switch this to greater than, and I'm going to switch this to a positive number, 140. Okay, so to do a positive angle, I need a left steering, but a greater than sign on the gyro, and a positive angle number. And if that's to turn left, and if I wanted to go to the right, I need a positive steering value, I need a less than symbol, and I need a negative angle number in the gyro sensor. Okay. Oops, let me run it from the very beginning. Oh, it just started off that way. That's interesting. It's supposed to start facing this way, in that direction, and then turn 45 degrees. For some reason, maybe it turns while it's loading, I don't know, but it just ends up being at negative 45 already. Let me go ahead and put a bigger number, negative 150. I don't know, let's just try that. Okay, so let's keep those things in mind when we look at gyro reset missions 5, 6, and 7. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Triangular turbulations. Try on this triangle for size. Now try the triangle. Use the gyro sensor to go around the triangle. If you get stuck, here are some tips on it. Okay, so first of all, we need to move forward. Okay, so let's go ahead and move forward until we... Actually, you know what? I remember that I've tried the until touch and it didn't work out too well. So I'm going to use a time-based movement. So I'm going to click on set duration, and I don't want to set steering yet because I'm just going to go straight. I'm not going to go left or right. So I'm going to make a copy of this block. I'm going to put it here in duration, and I'm going to guesstimate that it takes about 3 seconds to get to the end there. So I'm going to put 3,000 right here. Let's see how I do. Okay, obviously I was off, so let me try 4,000. 4 seconds. 4,000 milliseconds is 4 seconds. Still not enough, so I'm going to try 4,500. Oops, 4,500, there you go. Okay, good. Now, I want to move slightly more forward, so I'm going to put 4,700 and see how that goes. Okay, I think that looks like a good way to stop, a good place to stop. So after that, I'm going to go ahead and add a drive power again. But I'm going to go ahead and add steering, but not duration, because I want to turn using the wait until gyro block. So let me duplicate this block right here, and I'm going to leave it a positive steering value, and I'm going to lower the drive power to 15, and I'm going to guess that I need to turn 90 degrees to the right. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my wait until gyro block, and remember that if I want to turn to the right, I need a negative 90 here, and I need this to be a less than symbol. And I believe I'm also going to need this one right here, so that it stops, okay? So let me try that, but I'm going to set this to 0 on the power, right there. So let's see if that works. And what I'm hoping this code does is get me to this point, and then get me to turn and face this direction of those green energy cans. almost there. So I need to turn a little bit more than 90 degrees, right? Let's say it's 95 degrees, negative 95 degrees, and hopefully that's perfect. Okay, that's still not enough. So let's try negative 105, and let's see what happens. Okay, that's a little bit. Looks like I need a little bit more. Let's try negative 110. Actually, looks like I need slightly more, so I'm gonna put negative 115. Oops, that's one too many zeros. Just a second. This actually looks perfect. So at this point, I believe that I'm going to need a gyro reset block, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and just repeat all of this code because I don't want to go over that process again, and I'm pretty sure this angle over here is the same as this angle over here. So I'm going to wrap all of this with a repeat block. So I'm going to plug all of this in here, and I'm going to put repeat 2 times. And let's see if that works. Okay, so obviously my angle was not, perfect. It looks good, but it made me crash into that wall, and I do not want to crash into that wall. So I'm going to add negative 130, and let's see what happens with that. Okay, that was too much, so that's maybe negative 125 is a sweet spot. Let's try that. Okay, that's still, so a negative 120 was not good, and negative 125 is not good. So let's try negative 122. Maybe that'll work. Somewhere between 120 and 125. Okay, I don't want to grab that one block, so I'm going to put negative 121. Okay, so I need to repeat this 3 times, I guess. So let's run that. Awesome, okay, congratulations, you've successfully completed Trying These Tribulations. Let me try the next mission. The perfect hexagon. Perfect hexagons have 6 corners, each of 120 degrees. Go around the hexagon, but don't be fooled, 120 degree turns are not the answer, okay? Well, let's see. Okay, so if I start off here, I need to move forward. And, oh, it looks like I kind of tried this one before, but I want to start from scratch, so let me click here and restart. The hexagon. You're going to have to code your way around all 6 sides. Next. Complete this code so the robot goes around the perfect hexagon. Next. Tips. Okay. So they kind of gave me some code to start off with, so I'm hoping that I don't need to add anything. That all I need to do is figure out the correct order for this code. So here, I always like to start off by just running whatever code they give me. So I'm going to press play. Okay, so apparently that made me walk forward for a little over 3 seconds 2 times. So let me reset that. So, let's see. I'm gonna run it from the beginning, and... Okay, so right after it gets that big can, it does the second repeat. So, let me start it again. Okay, so, let's see. What should I do? Well, I don't want to, I don't want to repeat it yet. Let's see. What is the best way to go here? So I need to walk forward, but then I'm going to turn to the left. But I don't need to repeat that step twice, because when I get to the end, that's basically where I need to stop. So, after that, I will need to turn, so I'm going to need this block right here, and I'm going to steer towards the left, because I need to change in this direction. I need this block, because it's going to let me measure the angle. And if I want to turn to the left, I need a negative steering value, but then I also need a greater than symbol, and I'm gonna guess that it's a maybe 45 degree turn, so I'm gonna try 45 right here. And then I'm gonna guess that I need this here, and then the reset down here. So let me try that. Okay, looks like I need to turn slightly more than 45 degrees, so let me try, I don't know, 50 degrees, and see if that's not too much. Okay, it looks like I need to turn slightly more, so let me try 55, and hopefully that's the sweet spot that I need. Okay, even that's not enough, so let's try 60, and hopefully that's exactly what I need. Okay, I'm gonna guess that that's what I need, and then I just need to repeat this. How many times? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm gonna put a 6 right here. And hopefully that does it. Good! Congratulations, you've successfully completed the perfect hexagon. Next activity, go around. Go around the octagon, getting all the points before getting the target. Alright, let's try this. Around the octagon. Obviously the objective is to go around the octagon. Okay, but this time they're not giving me any code to start off with, but that's okay, we don't need it. So first I need to walk forward until I get to this point, and for that I am going to use a time-based block. So I'm going to click this one, the first one under motor block, then I'll go ahead and click on this cog and add set duration. Okay, I'm going to make a copy of this one right here, because duration controls how long it's going to walk forward for, and I'm going to guess that's a small walk, maybe like 2 seconds, so let me put 2000 right here, and I'll start off with that. Okay, next I'm going to need to turn to the right. I'm going to guess it's going to be about 45 degrees. So I'm going to grab this block. I'm going to lower down the drive power to 15 because I'm going to turn. I need to turn to the right, so I need to add a steering value that is positive, so I'm going to put positive 100. Now I want to use a gyro sensor, the gyro wait until gyro block. So I'm going to go ahead and use this block right here, and because I'm turning to the right, I need a negative 45 here, and I also need this to be a less than sign. And I'm going to add a drive power 0 right here at the end, because if I don't, I believe the robot just keeps turning and turning. Let's try it, just so you can see. So I walk the initial 2 seconds, and then I turn. Yeah, but because we don't put that other block that I mentioned, it just keeps turning forever. So I'm going to add that and then restart. Okay, that looks good, but I have a feeling it's slightly too much. So I'm going to put a negative 43 and see how that looks. I don't want my robot to get closer and closer to the wall, the more it travels around the shape. So I'm going to try negative 43. And how does that look? I think that looks a little bit better. Hopefully, if I go ahead and repeat all of this code, it will not, go all the way around the shape and eventually, crash into it. So after this, we need the gyro reset. And if you remember, I explained in a different video that if we don't do the gyro reset, this gyro block is not going to work properly. Basically, if I repeat all of this code, the very first time that it gets to this yellow block, it's going to say, okay, I've reached 43 degrees. That's negative 43. Sorry, it's time to go ahead and move on to the rest of the code. But because it's repeating, eventually it'll go through here, here, and here, and it will have already counted to this block one time. So it's going to say, well, I've already gotten to that angle number before, so I don't need to, do that again. That's why it's very important to use a gyro reset block, so that after it does that code, it resets back this number here to 0, so that it can get to negative 43 again every time that it's repeated. So actually, let me just get rid of that and use a repeat block so you can see. So I'm going to go ahead and say I need this to be copied over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. So hopefully it'll reach that target on the 7th time. And remember, I'm not using the gyro reset, so you can see what happens when you don't use it. There's that first one, it did it right, but then it just doesn't count anymore. It doesn't, because it already counted that turn one time. Okay, so then we definitely do need that gyro reset right here. And then try it again. Hopefully I don't end up crashing into the shape. Okay, yeah, I just need to add a little bit of a drive forward there at the end. So that's what I'll put down here. Congratulations, you have completed the last gyro reset mission. Next. Alright, so that'll be it for this video. Thanks for watching and have a good day.